had in times of establishing and ensuring that our migration is going on smoothly. We also want to appreciate God Almighty for another privilege to be alive up till this moment. And I want to thank the entire house for your cooperation and also for the hard work that all our coordinators are doing to ensuring that our people are migrated into the exchange. And so currently at the moment, we will be joined by the Director for Administration to give us an update. But before then, today's meeting is going to be very brief because we are working seriously and tirelessly hard behind the scene to ensure that we are able to sort out all the local gas fee transactions that people have paid, and also to ensure that we have been able to censor all those who have submitted their details correctly to the admin. I have been complaining about a lot of errors, and those errors are continue, and I continue to see those errors from many of our people who are engaged into submitting detailed informations incorrectly. We have a lot of people who will only go straight and make payment, and after making payment they are sending us a list of people on uh, on a Microsoft Word document. They sending that information to the admin. I think we have someone out of Liberia and also one person from Nigeria doing that. Specifically, okay, thank God, Reverend Samson B. Chia is in the house. I think you were the one who sent that document to the admin. It was forwarded down to me. That details was not submitted correctly. And so these are some of the things that are delaying the process. It delays this process the more because we have been given instruction to submit this detailed information individually, not in bulk. And so the mistake that some of us are making is that you are submitting the entire migration details in bulk, which is not supposed to be like that. And so it gives a lot of work to come back again and respond to those individuals by sending you messages and telling you what to do. And before some of us could respond, time has gone and days are gone by. And so we really need to work on ourselves. And also we have other people out of Nigeria who have sponsored some migrations, but those migrations are not found on the admin detail submission, especially the migrations that came out from Yola. Thank God, Mommy Alice Jaffet is also in the house. I requested you to send me a detailed information of the migrations that were done and also the sponsors. And you sent forwarded me a whole detail of people and also the sponsors, but most of those migrants that were sponsored are not also found. Their details were not found on the admin at admin Incredible Wealth Coin Exchange, incredibleexchange.com. And so these are some of the things that the challenges that we are facing. When an instruction is passed or given, let us work in accordance with all of those instructions so that we can be able to have a smooth flow in terms of migrating the entire community into the exchange. We are finding it difficult, and some of you are sending POS payment that are not clear. You want to send a proof of evidence wherein the entire page is wiped out. Nothing is visible. And so these are some of the things that I kept complaining and also talking about at times without number. And a lot of us, we are hoping and looking up to this migration process done successfully. But I'm wondering what is really going on with us taking instructions. And so we are going to address most of these challenges tonight and also try to see how best we can do justice to that. These are some of the issues that are still delaying the migration process. And so I am begging our indulgence, especially we the leaders, everyone who is in charge of migration, pay attention. Pay attention and submit the migration details individually, not corporate migrations. I have stressed these times without number, and I have pleaded with us times without number to try as much as possible to follow this instruction. But up till this moment, we are still encountering these errors. And so let me allow the director for administration to come in briefly before we proceed. Like I stated, I am seriously working to sort out transactions for people from Nigeria. And so most of you, the transactions, there are some people that I complained the last time that some people are using one single slip to send multiple transactions, to send multiple migration details. When you use a single payment slip to send multiple details to the admin, both your account and the other account will be suspended. That is fraudulent. And so we are found doing this again. And so this time around, we are going to suspend anyone who is using a single slip to do multiple payment or detailed submission. It is very wrong. It is very wrong. And so we are not doing this to anyone but to ourselves and also delaying the process, because every transaction that is done will have to be carefully sorted out. We will have to find out that that transaction was matched and also duly done from the transaction ID. Even if you do a POS transaction, there is a reference ID on the POS slip. And some of those slips, the POS ID is not readable, is not visible at all. And so these are some of the things that are delaying, and we have to sort this out to ensure that we have people that have paid. The people that have paid are the ones being migrated into the exchange, not people that will come with fraudulent activities to want to outsmart other people and be migrated. And so I have been sitting down from morning till evening trying to do all the sorting out. So I want us to be very, very conscious, and let us be aware and be careful, especially those who are indulged into using one slip to submit multiple details to the admin. It is very fraudulent. And so the director for administration, if you can hear me, yeah, come in very quickly and give us an update from your end before I can proceed.
Okay. Good evening to the house.
Good evening.
It is a privilege to be here tonight. Um, to understand, it is saddening that. Baba, how you doing? Mm, it is sad to understand that we in Africa are very, very slow. We are lacking behind, and some of us are refusing to follow simple instructions. As it is now, like my boss was talking about, some errors we've had, so many issues need to be sought out with people. Some people sent in their migration, they sent in wrong details, and we send them emails. They are not even responding to our mails. So it is kind of difficult for us right now. And as it is, we should have done the migration, the bulk migration, I think about a day or two ago. But then with those challenges, there's nothing we could do but to see how best we can sort all of those issues up before we can get things done. So as it is right now on our list, we have a remaining account of 41 persons. That's 41 people, sorry. 41 people remaining. And once those 41 accounts are being sorted out and we have all of the information in properly, we will do the migration. 21 of them has errors, and the remaining 21 has not even yet come in. So we know that we are needing up to 41 people to get correctly done with their migration processes so we can be able to get things done. And one thing I also noticed that some people made their payments, but they have not sent their migration details. And making your payment does not mean your migration has been done. You have to go through the regular process and then send us your details, both from the exchange and the ICO. Like that, we are able to do what is supposed to be done on our part. So that is just what it is from our end. We need to work seriously hard. I don't know if our leaders are sleeping. Our African leaders are sleeping. I was really shamed last night in our global meeting to be talking about Africa. Literally, it was an insult to us, right? Because we are the same people who make a lot of noise, but when it comes to doing the work, we are unable to perform the real task that we are supposed to do. So we are really task. So we all have to wake up. We all have to sing one song over and over and again. See, for me, I really want to start at least reaping small, small from my investments too. Small, 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 small. But if nothing is done, all of our investments will be lying down, sleeping, and doing nothing. So I'm kindly appealing to the house, to the leaders. We need to wake up for our sake and for the sake of those we have brought to the platform and for the sake of Africa. We need to rise to the occasion, wake up and do that which is right on our part so that we can have our exchange going live. I want to start trading. I just can't wait to start trading. And I know some of you here can't wait to start trading as well. But it is left to us now to work. So I believe that if we mean well for ourselves and our investments, we will all rise up to the occasion to play our roles in our various countries, in our various states, in our various communities, so we can be able to meet up with that which is supposed to be done. So thank you and keep the courage. Back to you, my chief.
All right. Thank you so much, Director for Administration. I stated, this meeting is going to be very brief because I am still behind the system working and trying to sort out the entire transactions since morning, like I stated. And so basically, we are having a challenge. One of the problems that we have from our people submitting our migration details is such that you will discover that somebody will submit an ICO user ID different with the name that is submitted, or with the user ID that is different from the account details on the ICO. We have seen countless times where An individual's name is John James in the ICO, but when you go through the user ID, you will discover that the name is Timothy and a different last name. So I don't know where we are actually getting a different ICO user ID and a different ICO email with the one that you have. And so if your details do not tally with your name, that account automatically does not belongs to you. And so there is no way the admin can validate those details in order for you to be able to receive your coins in the exchange wallet. And then secondly, I sounded this warning sometimes December. It is still repeating itself, especially our migrants from Nigeria. We have seen in a situation whereby someone using one single slip to send transaction details to the admin, one single slip. The same POS slip was used to send migration details for three different individuals. How is that possible? You want to use 5,000 to migrate three different people submitting the same details. Isn't that fraudulent? And so the next time such informations will be sent to the admin, the previous one, there was a warning passed across to the individual. And so the next time there won't be any warning, you are going to be permanently suspended. I don't care how many coins you have in your possession, you are going to be suspended. And so let us be very careful and also be cautious. If you are not ready to migrate, nobody is forcing you to do your migration right now. But people who want to migrate in order to be able to gain access to their coins, in order to gain access to their transactions, they are the ones that we are dealing with. And so, if you are coming here to give us headaches, if you are coming in here to give us problems, kindly and gently stay aside. Why? Because I discover that we have a lot of people who are not focused, who are not walking along with instructions. And so let us be mindful, let us be very careful on how we go about this migration process. Like I reiterated, Reverend Samson, thank God you are in the house. I receive confirmations and also a mail from the global admin that you are sending the migration details via a Microsoft document. And so that is not the process. I think you started doing it very well. The migration details is to be submitted individually, not in a Microsoft document. And so not only you will also have the same scenario. I think one other person again, I will check. So kindly and gently submit the migration details one after the other, and the person who is to be submit who the migration is submitted on their behalf, kindly use their personal email to send that particular migration details. And if you are using one single email to submit multiple wallet or detail of migration to the admin, ensure that you always go through those emails to respond to any query, because the problem with us is that even when we have a response via our email from the admin, we don't normally respond on time. And so these are the complaints that were given to us. And so I am trying to do everything possible to address these complaints here so that we all can work together. Let us try as much as possible to ensure that all these errors that are highlighted, we are taking note of these errors so that we will not continue to do the same thing repeatedly in order to waste more time. And so I'm using this opportunity to appeal to all our leaders, all those who have been sleeping, and also all those who have not been engaged into talking or also reaching out to other IWC users or members about the migration process. The more we keep delaying, the more time is going. And so we have thousands upon thousands of users in Africa. And so when we continue to sleep, waiting for only the IWC executives or leaders to reach out, we may take a longer period to go round. And so let us all engage. Let us all, we already have users on ground. What they need to do right now is to migrate. And so let us reach out to our colleagues, to our other investors and also users and also IWC members so that they can migrate into the exchange for us to be able to have these numbers completed in order for the exchange to open for us here in Africa. And so we are left behind. Very soon, other regions will begin to trade because ever since we opened, like IWC Asia will soon be opening. And so we in Africa, we will be left behind because even when IWC Asia begins to operate, we will be seeing the price of IWC on the exchange, but you cannot be able to trade because trading is not open for us. That is why we are fighting very harder in order to get the 55,000 users from Africa for the exchange to open. And so I am begging and using this opportunity to talk to each and every leader here and also member. Let us all work together. One tree cannot make a forest. We have both corporate and individual, or we have joint and independent humanitarians who have been allocated with a huge amount of coins, and also individuals who were allocated with those coins. But the problem here is that most of the recipients have actually not made up their minds to migrate. And so it is all of us coming together that will make up the exchange or the market operate and also work. And so if we do not go into the exchange, who is coming to buy coins from who? Because IWC does not have any other coins. We have done the distribution during the ICO. And so everything that is happening here is for our own good. Both you and I, by the time we migrate into the exchange, it goes a long way to help us. It is on the exchange that we can see who is going to buy our coins, and also how can we swap our coins to other cryptocurrencies. How can we be able to transact and also get money sent to us directly via our local bank accounts. All of that happens in the exchange. It doesn't happen on the ICO. There are a lot of people here in our midst amongst us who are cryptocurrency literates, who are trading on Binance, who are trading on so many other cryptocurrencies or exchanges. You understand fully what I am saying. And so for those of us who are not yet inclined into crypto, I urge us to follow the instructions so that you can be guided. Let us do the right thing in order for us to make this entire migration process very, very easier for everyone. And so I am appealing to all of us, the leaders. Let us come together. Let us work together in unity of purpose to ensure that we are able to achieve this in a very short period of time. The exchange has been live since the 28th day in the month of November last year. And so that exchange supposed to have been opened for us to have been trading at this moment. But how many people has migrated so far in Africa, in the entire Africa? And yet We have been the ones putting a lot of pressure. Now the exchange is ready. Many of us are drawing backward. And so I want to assure us that when this exchange comes open, we will have a lot of smiles on a lot of people's faces. But it doesn't come easy. It has to go with a price. And the price is for us to move into the exchange right now. Let's go into the market where we can be able to transact. And so those of us who have already paid for your migration, who are already set to receive their coins in the exchange, yours has already been done. But we have thousands out there who are still yet to come in. And so let us all engage and also do our best to see that we are able to reach out to those individuals who are still yet to migrate, so that we all can come together and get the numbers that are needed for us to be able to begin the transactional activities. So far, we according to the director for administration, we had a global meeting yesterday evening, and it is so fortunate that we are actually moving very slowly. Momentum is only coming from a few regions in Africa, which is Nigeria and Liberia and some part of Ivory Coast, and other places are very cold. Nigeria is backward currently at the moment. I don't know if it's because of the current currency swap situation in Nigeria. The momentum is very slow. I want us to really buckle up and see how best we as a community can be able to get this migration process done to the fullest as soon as possible, so that we can all begin to rejoice together. I would like to, before I go into recognitions, I know there will be some. If you have any question, you can indicate by raising up your hand on the app, so that we can give you the opportunity to ask your questions, and also contributions if there are any. Okay, I have one person. I have two persons. Okay, let me begin with Reverend Samson B. Che from Liberia. Yes, you can unmute your mic and come in very quickly. Reverend Samson, we cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. Your audio is a bit down.
Good evening.
Yes, can
Can
you
you
be
hear me?
audible a bit?
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. You are on now. You are on.
Is it okay now?
Yes, it's okay. It's okay. You
All
can
right, fine.
proceed.
Uh, thank you for what you said. I have some problem, and those are things that I really want you to clear for me tonight. Number one thing, I told the army director the last time there were people I could not get their UD numbers. So these people, he sent me their numbers. Now the UD number he sent me, you are not able to, because they lost their password. You can't go back to that same email at Google. So I have to use the same name to open, since I got their UD, and that's how it happened. But one of the things that happened, everybody is asking me when they are done, when I do the migration, they say they should attach proof. So if you follow me up the other day, I have to talk to Madam Davis to confirm those payment that I made. And so this is
Mm.
the reason why you see me putting the entire payment that I made to on the list, so that Army can be certified. But I don't know that that is not the process. So I'm sorry.
All right. In the case of password loss, you said you were able to recover the user ID, right? If you are able to recover the user ID,
Yeah.
uh, when you create when you sign up a wallet on the exchange, you are expected to also attach the username, the username of the person on from the exchange in that particular mail or submission that you are doing, so that the admin can be able to confirm that yes, this person with this username on the exchange and also the email has paid for their BNB. But some people are submitting the name, the ICO email, and then ICO ID, and that is all. No email, no exchange username, no exchange email, only the ICO details, but not the exchange attached to it. And so with that, that does not show that shows that you have not yet signed up on the exchange if there is no any username attached to your submission details. And so if in case of that, even if you are using your own email to submit on behalf of another person, make sure you state the email, the exchange email, which is the exchange that you created on the account that you created on the exchange. There is an email, and also there is also a username attached to it. So ensure that you state the username and the email below, apart from the ICO details above. So you'll have to differentiate ICO user ID and then the ICO email underneath. Then give it a space below and also state your exchange details, and also attach your proof of payment or whosoever you paid your payment to, the migration payment to. You state that particular individual or that particular coordinator or director. Let it be, you can have a written note to snap as a shot. If you are not making any payment that will generate any receipt, you can write a statement confirming that this payment was made to so individual. Have it snapped, snap it, and also attach it to that email and forward it to the admin. But make sure that you do it individually instead of doing it on a Microsoft document. So I don't know if that is clear, Reverend Chie from Sino County in Greenville, Liberia. Did you understand my explanation? You can unmute your mic, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I got it. Clarity. I got it.
All right. Thank
But
you so much.
what happened is that the recent migration was did, it was salesperson. So when
Yes.
I attach their detail to send, now what I mean they too, they send me the confirmation that they are on bulk, they are on queue for how they call it, they are on queue for bulk migration. Instead of sending it to the individuals.
Mm. Now,
Yeah.
the admin cannot send it to individuals. They will have to send it to you because the entire document was sent via your email.
I sent individually for those guys. I sent and they are not received. That is how I started to remind them. Then they send the
Okay.
entire thing to me again.
So what you will need to do is that whenever you are
Yeah,
submitting their details, kindly
yeah.
have a written evidence of payment. If you
O-
are sending the
Okay,
money to the director of finance or to Madam
yeah.
Davis, just have a
Mama
written, have
David. Yeah.
something written that this
Okay,
migration fees has been forwarded to so person.
okay,
Indicate it,
sir. Thank you.
take a snapshot,
Thank you, sir.
and also attach it to that individual's migration details. It makes it easy
Thank you, sir.
for
Thank
everything.
you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Reverend Chie from Liberia. The next, I will take our mommy, Alice Jaffet. Yes, you can unmute your mic and come in very quickly, ma.
Yeah,
Mommy
good evening,
Alice Jaffet.
house.
Yes, good evening. You are welcome, ma.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Uh, we appreciate your effort in what is going on in the IWC, uh, and we also appreciate the admin. So you are really working tirelessly to see the progress of this work. We appreciate your efforts. We also appreciate our ambassador here in Nigeria.
Mm.
The problem we are having here is how to open emails, more especially we that are the humanitarians. So
Yeah.
how to open the emails for individual before migrating them. So that is where we're having the problem. If we use one phone handset to open email, after you open for 4 or 5 people, now it will start sending for asking you if you are a robot or not. So that is
Mm.
where we are having problem. We have used up all the handsets we are having at home. Not until now that the students have come back from the universities that we are now using their own to
Okay.
also open emails so that we start the migration. By the grace of God, tomorrow we'll be able to forward the migration. We will be able to send the migration. And another thing is that with the humanitarians, we are having people that we are replacing. In case you've seen different names in the original listing and separate names for the people we are migrating, is in that case because we now replace people that are willing uh,
Mm.
uh, and are willing to pay for the migration. So we replace and then use their name. So where we're having problem is that in this period of migration. But at first we are doing the KYC for them, giving the identification with the replacement names we are doing. But now since that we are no more on the KYC now. So we just use their name to do the payment and send it. That is why I think the problem is coming up. But by the grace of God, I think we liaise with our ambassador to see how we'll be able to be correcting that case.
All right. All right. Thank you so
So,
much, mommy. In a situation whereby you are replacing someone who is not
yes,
interested or does not want the allocation that was issued to them, there is no
yes,
problem with that, but you should have the ambassador or the admin, the director for administration, know that, okay, this individual or Mr. Anthony has signed up on the exchange, but we are using Mr. John from the ICO to replace Anthony with John. So that because
okay,
if the admin sees the user ID, because that user ID will identify that this name is different from the ICO from this name that is being submitted in order for the coins to be transferred. And so let there be an understanding, let us be in the know, or the leadership or the ambassador especially, let him be in the know so that he can communicate to the director of administration to let him know, or myself, that this person has been replaced, so that it will not look
okay,
fraudulent. And we would like to confirm from you, because once those coins are transferred to that individual into the exchange, nobody can remove those coins from the person.
okay,
Automatically those coins remains there with the person. No one can have access to it except if the person decides, okay, let me transfer these coins to another person. And so in a situation whereby we are experiencing that kind of change, let us be in the know so that it would not look fraudulent before the admin over there. Thank you so much for
okay.
echoing that.
Okay, sir, I have another question, sir.
Yes.
What I'm having is out of the people that have done their KYC and have been approved,
Mm.
are we still to also write to show that these people are replaced? Because we have replaced them and have done KYC for them and they have been approved.
Those who already have done KYC and their KYC were approved from the ICO and they are not willing to migrate or perhaps pay their migration fees. If they are being replaced by other people, anybody who is replacing such people will have to submit their own migration in the exchange before they can begin transactions. And so, yes, if you are migrating anyone or changing anybody from the allocation on your humanitarian, you will have to let us be in the know so that we can defend that particular change. When the admin sends a query, we will ensure that we will let him know that yes, we are aware of this and this is what is happening, so that we can defend that.
Okay.
Yes.
If that's the case, we send the list.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Yes,
Yeah,
I
we
will quickly,
thank you.
yes, I will quickly proceed to Mr. Paul, who is raising up his hand. Yes, Mr. Paul, you can unmute your mic very quickly and come in.
Good evening, House.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Paul. You are welcome.
Um, my uh, my question looks like a question and also like a suggestion.
Mm.
I just want to know about the bulk payment that I did last time, and
Yes,
I think that was what triggered to the cancellation of not cancellation, the direction that we should not be using a bulk payment.
yes,
But since the deed has been done, I think I suggest if it's going to be a problem, is it not better to refund the money back? Then we will now do it individually, because about the 6 persons that did the bulk payment,
yes.
2 have migrated, remaining 4. So, uh, if
Three
the
people are
remaining ones
migrated.
cannot be or 3, okay,
Is it
okay,
two or
because they
three
were trying
persons
to
that are
migrate the other
migrated?
person the other time. I think it should be 3. I will ask.
Who
I'll
did the
ask them because
migration?
the last information I got the names. That is a couple, husband and wife, and the
Mm.
one of their friend. Yes, one of their friends is among. Remaining my sister-in-law and my friend Ken
Mm.
and and the one other person.
Okay.
So that is it.
Okay, so
So
you said that three people are already migrated out of the six. I wanted to know,
yes,
how did you do the migration, or who did the migration for the three persons?
no, they did it because they live in Lagos.
They did it because they live in Lagos. Hello?
Yes, they are in Lagos, so they are the first people that did it.
Okay, they did it by themselves.
So yes, they did it on their own.
Do they do the migration, or they did payment for migration? I want to understand. I want to be clarified.
No, after the payment,
You
they
have done the
proceeded and
payment
did
and
the
they created accounts on the
yes,
exchange, right?
eh, yes.
Yeah, so let them follow the instruction. You send them the details. I ask you to contact the ambassador because we have several cases
I
as such. I told you to
I
communicate to the
did.
ambassador to tell you what to do since the bulk payment was made, because we had several cases like that and all the people were successfully migrated. And so I want to find out if you have been able to communicate with the ambassador for a solution to that problem.
Yeah, I've communicated with the ambassador. And we have series of problem here that is facing me here, especially in the case of German
Yes,
humanitarian package. You know, German is very very furious and angry about this whole thing. He was even telling me the other day that he cannot be able to migrate other members of his family because he don't know what is going on. He just migrated himself and then his son that is in Russia. That the rest people, he will keep it pending until when everything is being ratified about his package. I
Mm,
cannot see any reason why he paid, and I'm the one that instructed him. I told him that everything will work normal, and look
mm,
at what is going on now. And he did it not just because he has the money, but because God has given him the grace
mm.
to help other people, other individuals to alleviate poverty. And that is the reason, the main purpose of the humanitarian package. Despite that, he would have just
Okay.
used like 100,000 and buy coin for himself and for maybe his son or his wife. So I told him that all these
Mm,
things will be ratified. And when talking of migration here, everybody was expecting that after uh, the coin is being allocated to individuals here, we can now use it and migrate those people who we know that they can. And we have a lot of them here. If their coins is being launched to their account, why not? They will pay. So but since there's nothing to migrate, so we're just dormant here. Just few people that are here. I've talked to so many of them. I tried to convince them. Some of them, I think the other girl, I don't know, the girl is discussing with ambassador. Because after disturbing, I told them, if you are not believing me, talk to ambassador direct. He will direct you on what to do. And because of that, I even told
mm.
those girls, please go ahead, do your payments. This so and so account you can pay your money into. Even this morning, there's a woman that came, it's a friend of my wife. Uh, I told the woman, pay in. If you pay in your what do you call it, the gas fee, then I will now assist you in the migration issue. So this is the problem I'm facing here. Not just that I know that somebody came the other day and told me that he spoke. Anyway, let me not just go into that because that would be like as if it's
Okay.
um,
Before you round up, I would like the ambassador to unmute his mic. Ambassador, what solution were you able to provide to Mr. Paul when especially based on that bulk migration, the
Yeah,
bulk
good
payment that was
evening.
made?
My okay. The solution we provided was the provision we did to this woman from Adama. Uh, I hope Mr. Paul can hear me. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Paul, you can unmute your mic. Yes, you can proceed, sir.
Can you hear me? Okay,
yes.
okay, okay.
125. One, 125. I can't remember. I can make it.
It is to send him a migration video on how he can do the box, just what we did to that woman from Yola. But up to now, Paul have not even done anything about the migration video. So one of the thing I expected him to do, like I sent him the migration video to watch, so that he can learn how to migrate it too, how to compose, how to write the message to the admin, then copy you. But up to now, he has not done anything about it. The only thing he sent me name, which I told him that I don't do things like that. But now, Mr. Paul, one of the things I wanted to do now, I wanted to get George. Right now, George can do the migration very successful. So what you're going to help me do, I wanted to liaise with George. Please make sure you take George along whatever thing you do. People from the southeast now can go through George to be able to migrate them. He knows the procedure of migrating, and that's what I've been waiting for you to do since before now. And at the same time, the how to compose the video. So please, you give him the list of those people and their email and their password. Give him, let him be able to do the migration of those people. So one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to send George the message and the email and the boss's email so that he can copy the boss in trying to in sending us box SMS. So this is some of the solution I think we are going to do now. It's just that Paul have not been, I don't know, he's not ready to learn how to do this migration. I don't know why. And he's the leader there.
No, no, Ambassador, sorry. It's not that I don't want to learn it. It's just that I have a lot on my head, actually, but just because of this German issue, is the thing that
Uh,
is putting me down like as if
okay.
not. So that
All
was,
right.
Okay.
so that
I
The
was
think
German issue.
what we will do,
this
German
German
has
issue.
never been
Hello.
in
When you
our
are dealing
meeting.
with
If
a
Joman is
foreigner,
complaining to you, I have not, I've never seen Joman attend any of our meetings. And let me make it
Seriously.
very clear
he
to
is
you,
not
Mr.
happy. He
Paul.
told me that even today, I asked him to join the meeting today, at least that he can upload his anger. And with what you were direct on on how to handle him. Yes,
The issue
on
with
how to handle the
Joman
issue.
is
That
not the
is
only
it.
humanitarian.
Yeah,
Joman
but
is
he
not
was
the
just seeing
only
himself like he's
humanitarian
being
here
treated
in our midst.
differently. That was what he's telling me.
All right. Let me address you, Mr. Paul. Now, let me make it very clear and also straight to all of us. Joman is not the only humanitarian. Let me let you know, Mr. Paul, that our mommy Japheth here is one of the humanitarians who invested over 2 million naira. And we have other people who invested more than 2 million naira into IWC. So Joman only invested 500,000 naira. And so even though we are not looking down on his investments, but he is not the only humanitarian in IWC. And so if Joman is telling you that he will not join the meeting because he is angry, or could not follow instructions or want to listen to what is happening, then he is not willing to benefit from his dividends. And that's just the clear truth. I expected him to be in these meetings and also attend regular updates. These people we are talking about can barely open their accounts or even sign up. And so, if you are not following to learn and also understand what is unfolding, how can you be able to ascertain what is happening in the platform or on the forum? And so, if Joman has any issues, Joman can communicate to the relevant leadership concerning whatever clarity he needs. And so, until he joins these meetings, this is where we address people. We don't give priority to any other person. That is why everybody is here. Everyone is here. You have the right to echo your suggestion and ask whatever it is that you do not understand for us to seek clarity. And so we are not going to give any special treatment to everyone, or to any other person aside. And so if Joman is not comfortable with this meeting, perhaps he may have to communicate, tell him to communicate with me directly, and so I will be able to address him on that. And so this is where we invite everyone, irrespective of your country or irrespective of whichever location you are coming from, whether you are from Ivory Coast, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, or wherever. We are all under the African continent. And so if he has any concerns, let him bring his concerns right here on the forum. Probably through his concern, other people can learn. And so why is he shying away from the meeting? And so all those who are complaining, let them be on our forum. Let them try to be on our meetings and also air their views. That way we can be able to address whatever it is that is bothering or whatever it is that is their concern. Yeah, and so Mr. George, you can unmute your mic from I can see you are raising up your hand. Yes.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yes, good
Good
evening,
evening,
Mr. George.
everybody.
You are welcome.
Yeah, I greet you, our able ambassador, in the person of Zaki. And so, down here, I just want to say, when I'm on boys, you look at, no, I'm not a meeting. Happen down, go. And so, I I just want to say thank you to everyone who is on the platform to see to the progress of this our commitment. On my own side, I appreciate our ambassador. To some extent, he has actually been truly a Nigerian ambassador. Even though I see some limitations that is not within his power, as I may consider it to be. And so he has actually helped me successfully. I did my migration, you know, and I have migrated. He sent the video to me. I downloaded the video, watched it, and then where I didn't understand, he guided me. And until I finished, I did my migration successfully. Even when I had issues with my ICO account, he actually helped me, and I have done that successfully now. But then I on here in the southeast, I have always reported to Mr. Paul, and then I see a huge work or job that needs to be done, then we become somehow handicapped. Why I am making that statement is that one, it seems that some people in the southeast who should be cooperative with the executives or with us here, they are making a direct contact, like they call either the ambassador or maybe you direct to help them in some certain things which sometimes that Mr. Paul can help to handle. Because if the executives are being taken to the proper position, I think every reference as regards to the people in the southeast, which I am sure that without Mr. Paul telling me about this investment, I cannot be there. And Mr. Paul told a lot of people, and then some people actually brought some people. So some people who believe they now have direct link, they don't want to be part of whatever we're doing. If you talk about money, they get angry, and those stuffs. And that is, by the way, for those who bought coins. And then another job that needs to be done, and then someone like me, I am seeing myself being handicapped, is that if our own humanitarian package was actually distributed with the names that we had. Why I use the word we is because Joman sent different lists, and then Mr. Paul sent different lists, and I don't know the impact that has made on the humanitarian here. The job I was expecting that we in the southeast should be doing now is that by now we should be calling those people who are on those in the humanitarian list to come and do your migration. This is something for you. Come and do your migration. But then such job cannot be done because all the people that are in our possession, the churches we went to, the churches we collected names, the churches we collected details,
All right.
we
I
collected
think you
names,
are
the
out.
people we
You will
knew.
be okay.
Some of them said, okay, if this thing impact on that. Hello, can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes,
Come
yes,
on.
yes, yes.
Okay, you can hear me.
Uh, yes, go ahead.
Yes,
I hear you.
try to summarize because we are running out of time.
Okay, like I was saying, and so these are the things where we should be now. But then I discovered that the list, the 320 beneficiaries, which was belated from the number that was needed, that is in possession of Mr. Joman. I don't know. Joman is making it a private list. He's keeping it as a secret. So if you talk of migration from the southeast, Joman is basically not willing to release the list for migration. Then the list with us, there is nothing allocated. There is no allocation for them. So someone like me, I don't know how to go about it. And since I have told people about this, and then what the ones I told has not been done, I don't have the spirit to go and tell people again about something again that concerns this. That's my own personal problem down here. So if that the issue between Joman, the list Joman sent and the list Paul sent, the humanitarian or whatever, if it can be amicably and professionally handled, it will be to both our benefit and that of the IWC. So please, I think that issue should be critically looked into so that we can be somehow happy here, because the people are now looking at Paul as someone who is out to do people, and then I myself I become an accomplice. So please, that issue is eating deep into both Paul, I myself, and Mr. Joman. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Paul, the list you sent to me, uh, I think before or after the launching as at last year, uh, I resent the profiled details of the people via WhatsApp to you. Were you able to go through the list?
No, sir. You asked me this question before, and I told you that I didn't receive any list, and then you told me that you are going to look into it and send it back to me. Up till now, I've never gotten anything. Later, you told me to uh, to resend my own list to ambassador, which I did, and I didn't get any response up till now. I even
Okay,
resent it again, I think last month, to ambassador. So, and then
last
nothing,
month.
nothing was done. Yes, and nothing was done.
All right.
I even
Inform all your leaders. I think we will need to have a meeting with the IWC Southeast. I will schedule that meeting.
okay,
Inform Mr. Joman, inform all the people in that chat room. We will need to have a
okay,
meeting in respect to this issue so that we can have things resolved in that region. One of these days, perhaps before the week runs out, I will send you a schedule so that we can have that
okay.
meeting and also address most of these issues very critically. Thank you so much
Thank you, sir. That would be
for
nice.
taking your time to. Yes, thank you so much for taking your time to voice out all of these concerns. And so these are the reasons why we need to have these meetings. There are so many issues. Unlike myself, I am attending to a lot of issues from all over. And so people are sending issues, problems, and complaints for me from different African countries. And so do not expect me to attend to one single region. But all the same, we are going to see what the problem is in the southeast, and also we will have that rectified as soon as possible so that activities can continue as usual. And so I think so far we have been able to take all the questions and also the concerns for today. We will try as much as possible to mitigate all of those issues, and so, those of us who are in charge of migration, do us a favor by sending the right information to the admin so that you can reduce and help us to fast track the entire migration process. So I am begging our indulgence to try as much as possible to learn how to follow instructions so that we can have this process fast tracked for us to begin to have activities begin on the exchange, please. And so I would like to, on behalf of the entire global leadership, I want to appreciate Mommy Japheth, Alice, and I also want to appreciate Reverend Samson Bichie from Liberia. And I also want to appreciate Mr. James Adwa and Mr. David D. Makama. Mr. Chibo Ejiofor, and also Mr. Elisha. Uh, I want to appreciate our ambassador, Mr. Zaki, and also Mr. Enachuru and Hosea. And I also see James Boniface, Jides, and also Joshua Makamatakar. Okay, our daddy is also in the house tonight. Mohammed Ibrahim Onyemara Chibike and Mr. Paul, with along with so many people. Because of time, we may not be able to mention all your names. I especially want to appreciate everyone for taking your time to come on board tonight. And so let us all uh, be on standby, as the bulk migration will commence any moment from this meeting. And so I want to thank us all for taking our time to come tonight. Those of us who are not able to come, we will share the recorded version of this meeting on our YouTube. Try to like and share and also subscribe on our YouTube channel, so that you can receive notifications whenever any video is posted and uploaded. Thank you so much. Until we meet again next week, Friday. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night, sir.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Thank you so much.